G'day YouTube, this is a review of the Man Armoury. This is set number 76216, which is released in 2022. This is actually the third Hall of Armour set we've had from Lego. I will start by saying I don't remember Iron Man having a Hall of Armour in the Infinity Saga, but let's just go with it because apparently the Age of Ultron was part of the Infinity Saga as well, according to the new Hulkbuster. Different conversation. So this set's got 496 pieces, and at 150 Australian dollars, I will say that from the very beginning, this is quite an expensive set at its RRP. But we'll talk a bit more about that in a minute. But I will say, when I was going through building this, there is a lot more in this set than I actually realised. When I looked at the box, I thought, it's, there's not that much in here. I mean, I bought it because I'm a big fan of Iron Man. I wanted to have, more Iron Man suits for my collection. You also get War Machine over here. You also get Nick Fury, which is cool. He has been in a couple of other sets as well, but it's nice that he's included here. There is a lot of minifigures here, which might partly explain the price of the set, and we'll go through that in a minute as well in some more detail. But there's a car with some paintings that we'll talk about in a bit more detail as well, because those are very cool. Get lots of accessories and side builds here. So this is a very, very cool pillar drill. I like it. I like it a lot. The tool bench is great. These dollies that they've made for carrying things around are quite inspired, really. They're just, 4x6 plates with the studs around the outside, so you can attach things to them and then just put things in the middle, like some plans of your next Iron Man suit, which is very cool. And then naturally you've got the bit in the middle with the bit for building the Iron Man suit. So I'm going to go through and have a look at each of these in a little bit more detail, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on the set. I think maybe this is one of the weakest parts of this set, for the reason that in the movies there's so much happening around the suit. There's arms, there's the floor dropping away. The suit comes off in a myriad of really cool ways, and what we have here is literally just a little stand. It's a nicely built stand, but it is just a stand, which is a shame. I would love to have seen, like they did in the first Iron Man Armory, something with the arms. Look really cool, and it wouldn't have been many more parts to do it. They've done the robot in here, which helps, but they could have used what they've done here in the design to actually do the arms on here, which is a shame they didn't. There's really nothing to say about it. It's a shame. It really is a missed opportunity, I think. This is one of the biggest bloopers in this set, really, but it is probably the only blooper, really. Moving on to the side builds, these are worth talking about because these are really good. Really, really good. Apart from, maybe the chair, which is how to make a chair exciting. It's just a chair with a base on it. So let's put that aside. This one is also pretty uninspiring. This is actually for Iron Man's jetpack to go on. So yeah, that's what that's for. It doesn't have the jetpack on at the moment because Iron Man's wearing the jetpack. Then we've got another little stand here. We've seen similar things in the other Armory sets, just these little stands that have the obligatory fire extinguisher, because Tony Stark has a habit of setting himself on fire and blowing things up when he's creating stuff. And a gun, which is, not his style, but Pepper Potts is using it on the box, so I guess she's using it to save Tony's butt again. Next is these two little tables, and they are very, 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 very cool, I think. They're using these little lollipop pieces as the wheels. You can put whatever you want on there. It's not meant to be fixed, so the Iron Man, whatever moves around here. This one here, we've got the monitor screens using Tony's very cool graphics. The obligatory coffee cup, because he does need his coffee a lot because he doesn't actually sleep. Plans for whatever he's building next. And then an Iron Man suit on an arm here, which is looking at. And I love the way this is done with the inside of the Iron Man's legs and bits like that hanging down there, looking, it's a nice trick, nice use of these parts. I think that's very, very cool. I like that they've done that one. Seeing the Iron Man suit dismantled like that one is very good. Now, my personal favourite in this whole set, and this is a bit sad, It's not sad, actually. It's very cool. It's this pillar drill. It's brilliant. Like, the way this is done, like, it's so small. And I've built a pillar drill before out of Lego, and I can guarantee it wasn't this small. It's so well put together. It's so well designed. It's just a great use of parts. This is like... They should sell this one in a poly bag. That's Lego. You should be selling things like this and some other side builds in poly bags, because they're just brilliant. They're like, you know, anyone who's got one of the garage sets can add this to it. The Iron Man sets, anything. Really, really cool. I like this. I like this a lot. It's worth, you know, downloading the instructions just to see if you've got the parts to build this, because it's really good. And then a bench, a tool bench, just, you know, nothing in here. It's all empty, but we've got an Iron Man, mini Iron Man on there. We've got the light over the top. Not a lot to write about here. Some wheels there, and just using some of the tools that came in the bag. We do have one of the mini arc reactors there. I thought the robot was worth including on its own, because this is, again, like a great example of they've gone above and beyond in how they've designed it. This is probably the best version of dummy that they've made. I don't know if it's dummy or dumb you, but these are the two robots. One of the two robots that Tony built while he was a student, and he keeps with him. The ones that quite often help him put fires out. But just, again, nice use of parts. Very, very lots of movement in there using the ball joints. We've got a blade on there for cutting through metal. Again, using these lollipop pieces as wheels. So I thought that was just a really nice little build. Again, I think it's just like, this is the level of this set. There are so many of these nice little builds in there. The car. Now, in the movie, I think this was an Audi, but obviously Lego has decided to go with the generic car because they obviously don't want to pay Audi a fee on top of the fact they're already paying Disney probably quite a substantial fee for the Marvel license. But yeah, it's a nice little car, well put together. I like, you know, you've got the exhausts on the back, and like, you know, there's definitely a hint of the Speed Champions coming into here. I think I've said that on a few other sets as well. You can see the Speed Champions influence sort of creeping through into some of the techniques and some of the parts usage as well. So yeah, it's a nice little car. Actually has a little holder here. If you've seen this particular movie that this one's based on, the suit, he does actually drive this car with a batch of pictures in the back like this, which is what Lego have done very, very neatly here, is put those pictures in the back. Totally ruins the aerodynamic on the car, but you can still put a minifigure in there quite comfortably. And that leads me on to these tiles, which are from the expo that his dad did. Hang on, which way around does it go? I've got to remember which way these go together now. Not like that. Like that. There we go. So yeah, these are from the expo, and if you've watched the movie, you know that these are what gives Tony to start the clue about building a whole new element to solve his arc reactor problem in his chest. So cool, I like it. Nice bit of graphic design again. The Expo 74, which is what this was based off of. I like it. I think that's a very, very, very cool feature. Very well done. It's a real shame that these are stickers and not printed. This is a very good opportunity to do something very cool, but then it's a very big piece to print. But I think these would have been very good printed. It's almost something that an aftermarket company could do for us. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. If anyone wants to follow up on that idea, I'm happy to test it for you. Last and by no means least is the actual Armory that holds the suits. And I will start by saying, if you've got the other two Armories, you're going to be disappointed because this is not compatible with those. The height here is just different, so it doesn't fit, which is a shame. Would have been nice if they'd done that, but it is a very, very cool design. And to me, looking at it, actually reminds me kind of, if you look at the later Iron Man movies, he has a display case of, like, you know, his favorite armors or most iconic armors in the garage, and I think this lends itself very well to being like that. So I think that's a good design, good use of the garage door pieces here as the actual holders, and I've included these actually in there, but these are, they get 3 of these in the set as well, which are the schematics from, you know, various suits, which is, I think these are stunning bit of design here. The nanotech suit, for example, is this one. So you get 3 of those included in the set, which I think is very cool. You put them in here to, you know, fill in the spaces, because there aren't enough Iron Man suits in the set to actually fill all the spaces. But I think that's very cool. There we have his original one that got him out of the cave, the Mark 1 reconstruction, as it says on there. Very cool. And I've got the spare set of legs here. Now you do actually get an extra Iron Man if you decide not to have the Iron Man disassembled in parts like I've shown you here. When you go through the instructions, that's how it shows you, but you do actually have enough parts to put them together and make another Iron Man suit. So that's very cool. And just, you know, for the record, this is one of the flip up faces as well, which is my personal preference on the Iron Man suits. Let's start with the 3 normal. Let's start with the 3 normal minifigures in the set. So we got Tony Stark, Pepper Potts, and Nick Fury, all in black. Interesting choice of color there. Nick Fury obviously always wears black. Tony Stark does often wear black, but Pepper Potts doesn't wear black that often from memory. She does dress in a few different styles. So anyway, good printing. I've been very lucky on my printing. I know some people have had issues. I don't know if it's where we get our sets from. The printing quality is good, but as you can see, it's all very sharp on all of them. I do like it. Tony Stark wearing some kind of metal t-shirt there. The printing on the faces is very tight, sharp lines everywhere. If we go around the back of the set here, we can see that all carries on around to the back. Not much detailing really, just a few crease lines. Taking off the hair pieces here, we can see that Pepper has a rather scary second face there. We'll put the hair piece back on that one. And then Tony Stark, you can actually see a little hint of this one coming through on the sides. There's a little bit of blue poking through just here, which gives you a hint as to what the second face is for this one. This one's actually designed to go in that other suit that we have that's disassembled. So he's got the printing there for as if he's in the suit flying through the air or whatever, fighting in the suit. So that's pretty cool. I like that they've included that one. It's a shame that, you know, you have to dismantle the Tony Stark minifigure to actually use that face piece, which is a shame. So I might order a second one of those personally. But again, cool, good printing, like it a lot. Next is our non-Iron Man figures. So we've got Whiplash, the bad guy on the left, who has that suit. He actually wears 2 suits in the movie. So the first one is like him in a bear kind of chested suit, and then later on in the movie it's more of an Iron Man style suit. And then we've obviously got War Machine here. So they've opted to include him as the fully suited later in the movie version of this. This is from Iron Man 2, by the way. I don't know if I said that earlier on. But again, great printing on both of these minifigures. You know, we come to expect it on the Iron Man style suits here, with all the chest pieces and things like that are making it flex and super strong. And what Whiplash has going on here, he's slightly sort of more raw, almost analog suit compared to Tony Stark's super duper high-tech suits. And then round the back here, the printing continues. Obviously on War Machine we've got the cannon here, so we can't see all of it, but it all carries on around there. I like the fact that his helmet is shaped differently to the normal Iron Man one as well. You can see it's sort of inspired by it, but it's different. It's got a different look. Very clean printing. And if we take both of their helmets on, they do actually have faces under here as well, which is very cool. No printing on the back of them, obviously, because neither of them have got hair pieces. And yeah, looking very angry. He's got a grudge to bear with Tony Stark, obviously. And then there's War Machine, who's pretty chuffed that he's flying a very cool mech suit. Very happy with both of those figures. And Whiplash obviously comes with some of these electrical style chains as well that we can attach to his hands, as you saw in the earlier picture. So that's how that comes in the set. But now lastly, the bit we've all come for really, the Iron Men Iron Man suits for this set. So you get 3 of them. The one that was disassembled originally is actually the Iron Man Mark III set, which is the one that was from this movie, which is, I believe, the one that fit in the briefcase as well. Then you've got the Iron Man Mark 25. So this is one of the ones with the pneumatic hands, which is pretty cool the way that's built. You can see it's a bit more armored. He's got the heavy shoulders, everything like that. This thing's designed to give things a bit of a smashing. And then we've got the Iron Man Mark 85, which is actually from the Infinity Saga. So that's the connection between the Infinity Saga here, is the fact we've got the nano style suit that was used in those movies. I'm not going to try and turn my stand around. I'm just going to turn the suits around because it's easier. And again, carrying around the back, the Mark 25 here is brilliantly printed. Like, it's got all of the, you know, if you've seen the movies, I think it was in Iron Man 3 actually this one showed up, and he has these like extra pieces that like lock down and really make him extra tough, and they've got all that printing in there, which is brilliant. And again, both of these have got the printing on the back. You can't see this one on the nano suit obviously because he's wearing the jetpack at the moment, which replicates the kind of how the nano suit works with its built-in jetpack. But very, very cool printing. Another 3 to add to my personal collection of Iron Man suits. Very happy with how they look. The printing is, again, as I said, fantastic. We've been very, very lucky with how good these look. So as you gathered from the very beginning, I am a fan of this set. Now, I'm a Marvel fan. I am especially an Iron Man fan. So I do have a slight bias when it comes to Iron Man things. I don't think the value is here in this set though. I do think it is overpriced. You do get a lot of minifigures. You do get 3 more Iron Man figures, which is very cool. You do get another Tony Stark. You do get Whiplash. This is the first time we've seen him in a set, which is very, very cool with his power chains there, which makes a nice change. So there's a lot of minifigure value here, which is really what you're buying this set for, is the minifigures. That's probably half the cost of the set. All of the side builds, though, were great. I think they're excellent, excellent, excellent things. Even the car. The car was, you know, it's not the most exciting thing, but the way this whole front was put together, you can see some bits of Speed Champions creeping into cars across the line, which is very good. I like seeing that. I love the Speed Champions line, as you know. The side builds, pillar drill is exquisite. so good, so good. The bench with the tools, fantastic. These other side builds are a bit meh. Take them or leave them. These trolleys, great. Love the idea of them. Love the way they're designed. Love the parts on them. I love the fact they've put the bits on them as well for, you know, doing things, building another Iron Man suit as I've got it set up here. And then you've got the Iron Man cases here. I will say I do like the way this is designed, but caveat, it does not work with the last 2 Iron Man Hall of Armors because the height's different. This height here is different to what is on the old set. So if you wanted to carry on expanding that one, alas, you can't. But like I said, you could use it as like the display level in the garage and then have the old one as the Hall of Armor underneath. So these are the display figures and then the iron. Anyway, just a thought. So overall, like the set, don't like the price, but it is discounted in retailers already. So if you can get it on sale, do it. I got this one at 33% off, I think it was. And at that point, I thought great value. Really good. Really, really good. But at 150 AD, no. Too high. And looking at the other currencies as well, same problem. It's high, and this is probably the Disney tax as we call it, but that's my feelings on it. I don't think it's worth the RRP, but it is worth what retailers are discounting it to. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd love to know if you agree, if you like the set, if you plan to get it now you've seen this review. I hope you do, and if you do, there are links down below. They do support my channel if you decide to buy it from a couple of retailers I've linked to. Don't forget to hit the like button so YouTube knows you've enjoyed this video. And if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button as well. I do post regularly. And I will see you again very soon. Thanks for watching, guys.